Football is back. Football is back, people. Football was back last night, by the way. Football was back last night, where a team won without looking too good. So let's remember that. Let's remember that. People, please make sure you are smashing a like and subscribing to the channel. Also, make sure you are checking out OK Jerseys, our new sponsor. They are keeping this channel going and keeping us in the best football shirts. Not just regular this season shirts. They've got previous seasons. They've got concept kits. They've got everything. So please go and check them out. Football shirts for £15. You cannot go wrong. Right then, people. Manchester City away at Molineux. First game of the season. Beautiful weather. I was nervous, I can't lie. Away games, first game of the season. Always nervous. But 4-0 Manchester City. Now, was it perfect? Far from it. However, you're never turning down 4-0, are you? Let's talk about the lineup firstly. When the lineup came out, Doku starting. You know my frustrations. Doku and Haaland linking up. I've got my concerns over it. Still got my concerns over it. Bernardo Silva starting, but listen, I expected Bernardo to start. Diaz, Stones partnership, Ike Nori on the left. The surprising one was probably Rico Lewis starting. With everything we're hearing at the moment about Rico Lewis and a move to Nottingham Forest, that one was probably the most surprising one. However, that did mean that Bob was getting the start on the right-hand side, and it makes sense. It makes sense. With Bob holding the width, Rico could kind of come inside and almost invert and play in an 8, kind of almost at times 10 role. Nico Gonzalez got the head. What am I saying? Got the head. Pause. Nico Gonzalez started, let's put it that way, instead of what we probably were fearing might be Gundogan, Bernardo Silva pivot. However, the one downside was probably Cherki not starting. But listen, Rome wasn't built in a day. So the game starts. Oh, and of course, Trafford in over Edison. Right then, the game starts. And if I'm being honest, I think Doku started the better of the two wingers. I was actually quite surprised to see Doku get the ball and look up and put a cross in. Sadly, that didn't continue with Doku. But we will talk on that. Probably in the opening 25 minutes, most of the first half, we were giving the ball away too much in the middle of the park. Now, I'm not going to put all the blame on Nico Gonzalez. I need to go back and watch it again. However, our midfield, our front three, were not holding on to the ball, seemed to lack a bit of composure. And let's be honest, for the first 20, 25 minutes, it was not the most beautiful football to watch. However, we have to put some context to this. This is our second game back for about 5-6 weeks. This is some players playing their first game together. So it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. But there were signs of them getting in behind us a bit too much for me. Now, the positives I will take from this defensively. We seem to be catching Wolves offside far better than we could do with teams last season. Now, who's that down to? Is that down to it being a partnership of Stones and Diaz who have worked together for a long period of time? Is it down to Trafford? Because he does seem to be very composing in his box. I don't know. It's one of those difficult ones. Obviously, Wolves scored first, rightly ruled offside. People say we got lucky. Actually, if you are catching a team offside, is that luck or is that good defending? I don't know, but probably for the opening 25 minutes, we weren't creating too much, giving the ball away far too much in the middle of the park. Positives, Bernardo Silva's crossing and corners. But then a moment of brilliance, and this could be the difference this season, people. Reijnders. Moment of brilliance, picks up the ball, little dink over the top. And here we go. Credit to Rico Lewis. Rico Lewis doing the simple things, right? Not trying to do too much. A very simple, basic ball across the box to Haaland and a tap in for Haaland. Sometimes the basics really are important. So shout out to Rico Lewis. Was this the last time we saw him? The way he went over to the City fans, maybe it is. However, if that is the case, then what a way to go out. An assist for Haaland, 1-0 City. What was it, 5-10 minutes later? Reijnders picks up the ball again. Sorry, Bob picks up the ball. Lovely layoff to Reijnders. And Reijnders again. Clinical finish into the bottom right corner. People, 2-0 half-time. And there is the difference. Having class players like Tijjani Reijnders. He's showing it already. For me, he was one of my shouts for player of the season. I actually went with Haaland. I'm probably wishing I went with Reijnders now. Anyway, second half starts. And again, shaky start to the second half. Wolves looked like they were growing back into the game. And then we make some changes. Cherki comes on. People. He was only on the pitch for probably about 20 minutes. But Cherki is the real deal. Let's pause on the goal for a second. Let's talk about the link up on the right-hand side just before the goal. This guy is bringing back beautiful football. It's like a regen of Georgie Kinkladze almost. It's something getting us off of our seats. That deserved to go. Unfortunately, because he was playing in the false nine, when the ball got put across the box, Marmoush hadn't kept up with the pace, but probably did deserve a goal. Anyway, 30 seconds later, picks up the ball, beautiful turn, little 1-2, boom, Cherki. Again, a moment of brilliance from a class player. Is this a difference between City this season and last season? We've got some class in there. And then finally, I'm trying to think, the fourth goal. Who scored the fourth goal? Who scored the fourth goal? So, sorry, Reijnders scored a third. Yeah, sorry, thank you. That was fourth goal. Sorry, my bad. That was a fourth goal. Reijnders actually scored a third goal as well. So 2 goals from... Sorry, what am I talking about? Haaland got 2 goals, then Reijnders. Sorry. All over the gaff. This is literally as the game has finished. So let me recap on this. Haaland with the first, Reijnders with the second, Reijnders with the third, and then Cherki with the beautiful fourth. Ultimately, what has been the difference today? 2 of our new signings, Cherki and Reijnders. Another player I want to speak on really quickly is James Trafford. Now, is this a game where we're going to come out and say, unbelievable from Trafford, what a performance? No. However, in his first Premier League game, where we're all worried that if he made any mistakes, everyone was going to jump on him, and even more so with the whole stuff around Donnarumma at the moment, for Trafford to put in a performance like that, I mean, he actually was very heavily involved in one of the goals, commanded his box very well, made a couple of very important saves, looked comfortable with the ball at his feet at all times. And maybe he is having an impact on that defence and how we're handling crosses. Really, really promising performance from James Trafford. Now, is it going to be enough to make Manchester City not go in for Donnarumma? Probably not. But for me, it's helping to give me more confidence in James Trafford. Will he be our number one? We don't know. Anyone else we want to talk on? Really quickly, Doku. Today, probably not good enough from Doku. I get it. For some players at City at the moment, they do have a lot of pressure on them. We're being linked with other players. But today, Doku was not good enough. Those type of performances are not going to kind of stop City from going in for another winger. Look, for me, Doku is an impact player, better off the bench. I would probably go with Marmoush, but ultimately I would go and get Rodrigo. I also just want to say as well, Ait-Nouri, not the best of games from him. But I think Ait-Nouri is going to be one of these players where defensively, I don't think he's going to be amazing, but I think going forward at times he's going to be a bit like Cancelo. Remember how good Cancelo was going forward, where he'd win us games. I think we're going to get the same from Ait-Nouri. Listen, was it the perfect performance? No. Apologies, people, for getting the goal scorers all over the gaff. But listen, 1 or 2 of these, City 4-0. Tottenham next week at the Etihad. Perfect way to start the season. Am I going to say we're back? No. Am I going to say we're top of the league? What I will say is Reijnders and Cherki 1, Verts 0. People, please make sure you are smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel. Regular content coming, more watch-alongs coming. And there will be 5 things learned released tomorrow. Everyone have a good evening. Get in, City.